And AJ, from one big blockbuster, we're going to wrap up the news this week with what should be a big blockbuster, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. Because AJ, Avengers Secret Wars.
Okay.
No, look at your reaction there.
I know. Listen. Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is the TV show.
Secret Invasion is the TV show. Completely.
I've still never touched that. That's to tell you how
Don't worry about it.
I know I need to build into this stuff, but I'm just not building into it.
Marvel have completely, under the brilliant, and I'm saying that sarcastically, leadership of Bob Chapek, diluted their product to such a level that you actually question if an MCU movie is going to be good now. It's been so badly diluted by and it's going to take 2 to 3 years for Bob Iger to right the ship. Like, any success like the MCU has for the next 2 years genuinely will not be down to Bob Iger. It takes that long for his stewardship to take place and to take effect. Remember when Bob Chapek took over and it didn't start bad? And I was saying, like, it's going to take 2-3 years before you see it get bad. Look at Phase 4. Look at Indiana Jones 5. Look at Elemental. All these movies which should have been bangers. That was what I was warning about for the last few years. Now we're living through that. Bob Iger returns. We need some years for him to get his power back. And, the fact that Chapek decided to take away power from Kevin Feige creatively is like, sorry, how many stripes does the man need to earn before you actually just give him complete autonomy creatively? They weren't even letting Feige cut his own trailers in the end. You remember at the red carpet of Doctor Strange 2, they dropped the trailer on the day without notifying Kevin Feige that showed John Krasinski in the trailer before the movie actually premiered. And they asked him on the red carpet, so John Krasinski's in this. And he looked on the red carpet and went, sorry, what? How did you know about that? And they're like, well, the trailer's dropped. And he actually said on the red carpet, I didn't know anything about that.
Fail. Epic fail.
That's Bob Chapek for you. Arse hat. Bob Iger's back now. And we hope that that's going to usher in another golden age of comic book movies. But we're now talking about Avengers Secret Wars, which I don't know if you've read the comic book, AJ. Bear with me. Yeah, I'm sure I've got it here somewhere. Here's my baby. I'm a proud owner of Avengers Secret Wars. AJ, listen, I'll be the first to say, it's not the world's greatest comic. It's a spot fest.
I'm sure it is.
These big omnibus comics, I know Big Tone absolutely loves it. They don't tell a great narrative. They're spot fests. It's fan service. It's visual noise. It's good visual noise, but it's visual noise. That's what Secret Wars is. It's like, let's put everything in one area. Let's have the X-Men. Let's have all the villains. Let's have Venom. Let's have Carnage. Let's have Ultron. Let's have Doctor Doom. Let's have Apocalypse. Let's put everyone in there. It's like, and so no one's going to have time to breathe or get developed, right? Doesn't matter. The fans will love it. It's like, okay. Okay. This is a lot to listen, I don't know how that's going to look in comic book form. We'll see. What worries me inherently is who we're now talking about to direct this thing. So here's the story.
Oh, boy.
I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but yeah. There's the man. Acclaimed director Sam Raimi is apparently being considered to direct.
I've seen his picture somewhere, and I did. Okay, go on.
Sam Raimi is apparently being considered to direct the highly anticipated Avengers Secret Wars in a surprise twist for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The news comes from the Twitter account My Time to Shine Hello, yes, them again, which has previously provided leaks that turned out to be true. So My Time to Shine Hello, here we go, here's the tweet. Sources confirmed that Sam Raimi is Marvel's top choice to direct Secret Wars. Although no official details have been released, Avengers Secret Wars is expected to reunite Raimi with Tobey Maguire, the original Spider-Man, and may even feature Hugh Jackman, who recently returned in Deadpool 3. Kevin Feige made the formal announcement for Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars at San Diego Comic-Con last year, Together, these two films will serve as the two-part conclusion to the multiverse saga. They will be released barely a year apart from one another, as was the case with Infinity War and Endgame. Not a bad thing. However, this time they won't be shot back-to-back, mistake, and will be produced by two different teams of writers and directors. Another mistake. As fans are aware, Destin Daniel Cretton has signed on for both the Kang Dynasty and Shang-Chi 2. So nobody knows what Marvel Studios has planned with directors and their schedules. So, AJ, I'm, with respect, going to take the lead on this one. There's a lot I need to get off my chest here. The first problem is, who the hell are the Avengers now? Who makes up this team? Like, I know Thor's there. I know we've got Falcon, who's now the new Captain America, but who are the Avengers? Black Panther exists, but I don't believe Shuri's Black Panther has been made part of this. Spider-Man, no one remembers who he is. Tony's dead. Cap's old. And Hulk
Bruce is technically dead.
Bruce is busy being a professor. Like, who are the Avengers? You're not going to sell me on the idea that it's going to be a young Avengers, which is obviously what they've been teasing. I can't tell you how much I hate everything about that. That's the first point. You don't have an Avengers team. So the idea of assembling everyone, forget assembling. You need to establish these people before you even assemble them. And you need to make me care about them before I care about them being assembled. There's your first problem. Second problem. Yes, Sam Raimi is responsible for delivering one of, if not the best Spider-Man movie ever made. Not taking that away from him. But you have to admit, tonally and thematically, those Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies are worlds apart from what the Avengers movies are and from what the MCU is. They don't feel like they live in the same universe. Yes, you can put Toby in as fan service in No Way Home, even though it didn't make sense, but that's fine. To give us the Spider-Man 2 tone in an Avengers movie, yuck. Like, no, absolutely not. There are rumors that Alfonso Cuarón, he of Gravity and he of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban fame, is also being eyed for this. That I'd be more interested in. I'm going to give you a director right now who I think you'll agree with. For me, the most proficient action director working today. And I'm not talking pipe dream. I'm not talking about let's get Nolan, let's get Spielberg, let's get a Peter Jackson or a Martin Scorsese. Forget that. These are pipe dream ideas. I'm talking about in the realm of reality, in the realm of real possibility. There is only one person who I believe would do this, because what does an Avengers movie have to give? Action. Yes? We're assembling everyone. We're not telling a story in an Avengers movie. We are doing big set piece action. And there's only one person, and there is one person who does action better than arguably anyone in the modern day. Chad Stahelski. Who's Chad Stahelski? John Wick director. Watch John Wick 4. Look at the action and the way that's shot in that, and tell me that wouldn't fit into a battle or battles or fights in Avengers movies. That's my pick. So AJ, your thoughts on there not being in Avengers, your thoughts on Sam Raimi, and also give me your dream pick for directing an Avengers movie.
I'm going to come off the bat and say I'm not too sure who my ideal director would be. At one point, I was kind of toying. I thought you were going to say James Wan, and I was like, well, he's doing Aquaman. Would he jump? That's a different situation. Raimi, if I'm not mistaken, was he not behind Doctor Strange 2? Yep. Right. Not exactly the best feedback in the MCU world, was it? Nope. I enjoyed the film, just not as great as it could have been.
And also not as great as the first Doctor Strange movie.
Right, this is what I'm getting at. The issue we have is that it would be Doctor Strange to assemble the Avengers between him and
Wong.
Oh God, he's the Sorcerer Supreme. Can't remember.
Wong.
One, it would be between those two because essentially Wong has been in every TV show that you can imagine, and Doctor Strange is the only one who can give Spider-Man back his memory. Like that's the only thing we're going to do to make any of this believable or going on. As you said, the Guardians, all right, they said Star-Lord will return. The rest of the Guardians have absolutely retired. Thor's a dad. Love is whoever Love is at the moment. What does constitute the Avengers? It's now a case of, oh, by the way, we need you. Oh yeah, you were affiliated too. Yes, Captain America will always stand at the forefront, and now we're going to have Sam adjusted to the fact that he's there. This is the perfect time to bring Eternals in because hey, the guys who were secretly in a war and then just vanished again with no appearance of anybody else. That's going to be fantastic. Shang-Chi fought his dad. Like everyone who has been somewhere in the film is not giving me anything to tell me that this is worth it. The only other thing that we can do, and this is like either of us having seen it, we have Ant-Man to look forward to. Yay! Like it's not the best build-up for me to be like, this is it. Where we had backstories for everyone before, and it kind of like, oh, you're cool, you're cool. Bearing in mind, I did not think I was going to enjoy 4. The films that you gave me was like, I love this guy. By the time we get to somewhere, we've got it. We also know who his brother is, what it is, what the reasons behind their fight is. It doesn't feel that way now. And then what I think is an even bigger problem is the one that you called, is you can't mix your directors and producers in a 2-part film. There's a tone, there's a story, there's a narrative in the way that I'm going to do something for it to continue. So what, we're going to have this script and then it's going to be like, oh, I want this, I want that, scrap this, scrap that. Now, to me, as an initial director, this is key and instrumental for this to be there. The second director looks at it and goes, oh, we don't need that. I mean, you don't believe what I'm saying.
Ryan Johnson.
Well, look, we could go there and let's just play that special game that people call the Schneider Cut. There's something. Or do you want to play another game? Let's look at Fantastic Four. Yes, really cool. Go onto another planet. Film changes because people aren't on the same page. Not to you listen right now. I'm going to fantasy book. You can have Martin Scorsese and Christopher Nolan, and let's add Steven Spielberg and George Lucas into the mix as well. All
Jesus.
amazing. The fact that these two haven't worked. Okay, Spielberg and Lucas do, but you can't just mix two things together and be like, oh, you're both great, it's going to react. It doesn't always create greatness. So you need to have a tone. It needs to have a separate tone. You can't put George Lucas in Star Wars in
You mean a single tone?
Come again? Yeah, it
You
can't
mean
have
a single tone, yeah.
Having two separate directors create a 2-part story. Yes, Lucas and Spielberg can create Indiana Jones, but you're not going to put George Lucas on Star Wars. It just, I keep saying Star Wars, Jurassic Park. It needs to have its tone. It needs to have its element and feel. It needs to breathe the way it does. You can't just mix and match and be like, oh yeah, that will do it. That has me nervous as all hell. You've not built your team, and now you're going to say, yeah, you do for part 1, you do part 2. Yeah, everyone's happy. No. It's a mess. The Secret Wars is actually happening in Disney Studios, not on TV.
I like that. Well, yeah, we're going to leave it there. Oh, I'll add one thing. There's one other director who I thought of who, if you don't want to go down the crazy action, but you want to do a guy who's very adept at sci-fi and who can breathe life into something, you'll agree with me here. Travis Knight, Bumblebee's director.
Do you know what? I'm going to mix back onto the previous story. That would be a perfect director for Fantastic Four. If we're going to throw it back a bit, he knows how to throw it.
Yeah, wouldn't he? Travis Knight is a Fantastic Four director, breathe life. Because when he took over Transformers, I mean, that series was, and I love this franchise, as you know, that franchise had become soulless garbage. And he, with a minimalist budget, made what's probably the best Transformers movie out there. Making it a character piece and knowing when to do action and knowing this is what he did so well, and you've got the bruise on your arm to show for it. He knew when to do fan service, but do it in small amounts so that you felt satisfied. Ravage, eject, and nerdgasm, and now we move on with our story.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He balanced Bumblebee so well. He'd be good as an Avengers director.
I could work with that.
I want to know what you guys think. Excited or not for Sam Raimi? Do you believe the rumor? Who would be your dream casting if not Sam Raimi to direct Avengers Secret Wars? Who the hell are the Avengers? Let us know down below, because we sure as hell don't know.